The Mexican president on Thursday called the jail conditions of drug lord El Chapo inhumane while vowing to bring down violence. El Chapo will spend the rest of his days behind bars in the United States after a judge sentenced him on Wednesday to life in prison plus 30 years. The Mexican president said at his regular morning conference that sentences like the one for El Chapo, a sentence for life in a hostile jail, hard, inhumane, made a life no longer worth living. As well as his concern for the infamous kingpin's well-being, the president criticized the violence he wrought over his long career and said society needed moral reforms. Argentinian authorities designated Hezbollah, which it blames for two attacks on its soil, a terrorist organization on Thursday and ordered the freezing of the Lebanese Islamist group's assets in the country. The announcement coincided with a visit by U.S. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo as Argentina marks the 25th anniversary of the deadly bombing of a Jewish community center in Buenos Aires, in which 85 people died. Argentina blames Iran and Hezbollah for the attack. Both deny any responsibility. Argentina also blames Hezbollah for an attack on the Israeli embassy in Buenos Aires in 1992 that killed 29 people. The United States on Thursday demanded Iran immediately release a vessel it seized in the Gulf, and a U.S. military commander in the region said the United States would work aggressively to ensure free passage of vessels through the vital waterway. Responding to an announcement by Iran's Revolutionary Guards that they had seized a foreign tanker smuggling fuel, the U.S. State Department insisted Iran had to free the ship and its crew and stop harassing vessels in and around the Strait of Hormuz. The United States blames Iran for a series of attacks on shipping since mid-May in the world's most important oil artery, accusations Tehran rejects, but that have raised fears the longtime foes could stumble into war. Sudanese demonstrators on Thursday rolled out a banner honoring fallen protesters over a square where ousted President Omar al-Bashir held a large rally in his final moments in power, a symbolic move that left some in tears. Thousands of demonstrators, mostly teenagers and people in their early 20s, joined a rally in the square which continued to grow into the late afternoon. Protesters said they were renaming it from the Green Square to Freedom Square. The protest came as the Military Council and an alliance of protest and opposition groups worked to finalize a power-sharing deal for a 3-year transition toward elections.